What's up? Welcome back for another recap video. Today we have ADTX. This was the primary gapper on the day. We were looking at this pre-market during the pre-market pump, which is a live stream that we do every single day from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the market open. So check that out Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, we were looking at ADTX, and we did see a nice triple top pretty much at 750, and we kind of consolidated right around VWAP. And I love when we consolidate right around VWAP, especially when it's a micro float or low float stock. This stock had like 400 shares of float, which is really good, something that we really like to see. It's right in our price range. The daily chart had a little bit of room, and we did have a news catalyst. So, taking all those boxes, and we did see a very nice move right at the open. We saw a move right up to 950. Thought we were going to continue through 950. I actually had a very big position, probably one of my bigger positions, which is about $11,000, about 1,250 shares for the break of 950. We didn't quite get there. I did take a small little paper cut there on big size, but I had decent shares off the low here at 860. Which we can go through that trade, but kind of sizing in for the breakout, and I was ready for that breakthrough 950 for that move up to 10, and I thought we'd see something real nice. But that's it. We faded from there. But I was able to hold on to some profits, which is good. Another good thing, looks today we're finishing up 177.70, which is base hits. But with the amount of size I was trading, this is definitely more of a base hit kind of day. I think I was unrealized like 500 or 600 on the day at one point during this trade, but I did cut it, did take a lot off because I added too high, but we can review that trade. But one thing I want to note is that today, for sure, 100%, I showed up for sure. I 100% showed up, and I gave it my all and a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the times we really underestimate our abilities, and a lot of the times we think that we're doing what we're capable of, we're trying our best, but a lot of times that's only 50% or 60% of what we're capable of doing. And so that's why every single day, it's my goal, it's my job to hold myself to the fire at least one trade every single day. I need to be in a state of anxiety and a state of, feeling the fear, feeling the anticipation of being in a trade on big size, because that's how I'm going to grow. And I've, had been having this problem of just, being a little bit more timid from taking too big of risk, just because of the fear of taking a big loss, or fear of failure, or fear that, my edge just isn't real, it's all fake, or, that I'm not, a good enough trader to be trading at that level. But, in reality, that's just everything is just exists in my mind. In reality, I'm looking at every single day, I'm profitable on most days, and every single month I'm profitable. So I definitely have something, to work with. And from there, I just need to overcome those limiting beliefs that I hold, and hold myself to the fire every single day, and experience the anxiety, experience the fear of being in a big trade. And, that's how you're going to learn to size up and overcome those fears. As you do that and you actually have really good trades on bigger size, that's definitely going to encourage you to continue trading and push it even farther. So the idea for me is every single day I want to be in at least one trade where I'm a little nervous. I'm anxious, fearful. I'm feeling definitely the anticipation, and that's how I know that I'm holding myself to the fire and growing every single day. And that's my goal. I just want 1 inch every single day, 1 inch every single day, and slowly over time, I'll be a much better trader after day after day after day of small improvements. So that's really the goal as traders, just slow growth over time, slow improvements over time, and consistent improvements. That's why we show up every single day. So, you're not going to get better at trading if, you only trade, once a month, or you start trading, then you stop, and then you come back to it a couple months later. The idea is just to continually come back every single day, consistent, and you'll slowly get better over time. It's the same thing with the gym. Like, you're not going to get stronger if you go to the gym for a week and then you stop for a month, and then you come back a couple months later for another workout. You're not going to be any stronger. So the idea is just that consistent effort over time, And it's the same thing with growing your size. Is, you know, you're gonna eventually get to a point where, you know, once you size up, all of those, you know, fears and anxiety comes back. And, you know, that's where you know that you're holding yourself to the fire, and that's where you know that you're pushing yourself another inch farther. So that's my goal every single day. And today I can definitely say that I did it. We can review some of the trades. I did end, you know, small green, but, you know, it is all right. You know, the idea, you know, as long, I don't really care about the result. All I care about is that, did I show up today, and did I, you know, push myself a little bit harder than I did the day before, and did I hold myself to the fire? Because that's how I'm going to grow. You know, I'm not going to grow just staying in my comfort zone, you know, trading the same amount of share size that I'm comfortable with, knowing that I can, you know, confidently make $100 a day. You know, that, like, whatever, you know, like, I don't want to stop there. Like, it's a great start, you know, it's a great goal, you know, $100 a day. It's a great achievement, but, you know, at some point you got to aim higher. You know, the mountain keeps going. The mountain is infinitely high as a trader. There's traders out there making millions a year, and for me to stop at $100 a day, come on, that is selling myself very, very short. So, you know, it's important that, you know, I am grateful for the things that I've accomplished so far, but, you know, there's still an element of dissatisfaction, which is great. I should really embrace the dissatisfaction that I have in my trading performance, because that is what's going to drive me to the next level. So, you know, it's very, you know, it's okay, you know, to feel down on yourself and your performance. You know, it's definitely also something that is going to drive you forward. There is, you know, obviously a point where it gets too unhealthy if it is really holding you back and you're beating yourself up too much. But it's definitely an element of dissatisfaction is required to get better in any single discipline or any single sport, because we're always trying to get better. And that's how winners win, is just by constantly, you know, refining their approach, refining their strategy, refining their sport, and getting better. And the only way you're going to do that is by, you know, assessing the failures, assessing the mistakes that you made. And that's going to come with an element of dissatisfaction. But let's take a look here. ADTX, I thought we were going to get more, but we didn't. We kind of faded after that strong move. CCCC, very, very choppy. This thing, I was trading it, you know, kind of actively, but I didn't really like it. I had a larger float. The news was like subpar. And, you know, after this false breakout, like, we had like a dip and then a rip and then a back down flush. Like, it was just very hectic, and I pretty much stopped trading from there. I just wanted to kind of walk away with my gains, and I knew that, you know, any opportunity moving forward from this point on CCCC would just not be A plus, and would not warrant me, you know, taking massive size, just because the setups are just not A plus. Like, anything after this, look, it's just all very choppy, nothing really A plus. And, you know, for me to be really pushing my comfort zone, you know, I want the setups to be A plus. You know, they need to be great setups, and that usually has been coming right at the open, but for the first 30 minutes. So ADTX, definitely an A plus setup in here. You know, high profit margin if you trade those momentum strategies, momentum scalping. So this is where I want to have my highest size. This is where I want to be swinging hard. This is where I want to have no regrets that I showed up and I went for what I wanted. You know, I don't want to shy away in this area. You know, trading like 100 shares, unless obviously 100 shares is big to you. You know, I guess it's all relative. You know, someone who's trading 10 shares, you know, 100 shares is big. So, so take that with a grain of salt. It is all relative. And there's going to be some people saying, "Oh wow, 1,000 shares? That's nothing. That's just like, that's my like baby size." But, you know, it is all relative. So we'll eventually, you know, as we get better traders, we'll naturally, you know, start to grow and expand, and that's just how usually the growth curve starts to go exponential. But let's take a look here at the live video. Pull that up. We can minimize that. So this is where it already went into a halt. Okay. Okay, market's about to open. Market opens. Testing my fills with 1 share. Fills seem pretty good. So fills seem pretty good. I jumped in 500 shares as it was creeping up there. Got like 5 cents there. Pretty decent. I was a little bit anticipating a dip at the open. Actually, I wanted a dip to VWAP. And I thought we were going to see it here. I thought we were going to see it right here. But as we held that, I was like, oh crap, we're going. So it kind of just ripped up into a halt. Didn't have time to get in. I got in, at the highs. I saw that the bid was just getting chipped away pretty fast. So I was like, all right, maybe I don't want to be in this halt. So I sell that one, and then it finally does halt. It turns out to be a 50-cent gap up. So that could have potentially been a $250 trade right there. But tried to manage my risk because I saw the bid getting chipped away. So I did have kind of the right idea. And there's been stocks, that we've been trading the past 2 weeks that just we would come up into a halt and we would just like flush back down and then come right back up to the halt level. So I definitely wanted to be very tight with my risk when I was trading near the highs. So we had CCCC kind of there, but nothing really A+. I don't really need to go over that. So we unhalt, and now I'm looking for a dip and a rip. So whenever we unhalt higher, usually, that's usually a bullish sign. You want to look for the dip and a rip, but we don't dip. We just go right up through 850. That could have been a decent trade through 850. And here's, you got 9. Now we're hesitating near 9. We just made a $2 share move. So I'm in at 88, looking for the breakthrough 9, selling on the test of 9, because if we don't rip immediately through 9, since we're on an extended move, like I'm selling on the test of 9. I don't even want to wait for the break of 9, because if it's strong, it's not going to hold and then break out. It's going to just like bust right through it. So that's why I just sold right at, and then if it's also like not going to break 9, at least I'm able to get out either break even or with a small profit. Especially, since we're extended now. So I get out there at 96 and say I got partial at 96 and then the rest at 89. So like a couple cent profit there. Now we're testing 9 again. And see, we just cannot bust through 9. So I'm waiting for a pullback. We got some resistance. And here's the pullback. Boom, right there. 500 shares at 46. Quick reclaim out at 56. Nice 10-cent trade. Back in at 48 because we dipped back down. And back out at 60. So 12-cent trade. So now I'm up like 100 something on the day there. On just 2 really quick trades. And then here I'm in. My big fat daddy size, 1,000 shares here at $9. So it's about a $9,000 trade. And if I would have held just a couple seconds longer, this could have been about a $300 to $400 trade. And just because we hesitated right there, I sold. I sold break even. Whenever I'm buying breakouts, it needs to be breakout or bailout. I need to see instant resolution or I'm out, because the downside of this, if it rejected again at 9, the downside would have been 50 cents. I would have been lucky to get out at like around 850. And that would have been a $400 loss. So breakout or bailout mentality near the highs is definitely the attitude that you need to have. Yeah, it didn't work out. Could have been a $400 trade, but next time, there's always been another opportunity, and it was in the idea of managing my risk. So I can't really beat myself up too much about that. And the entry was a little extended, so it definitely needed to be a breakout or bailout. But I did come out with about 3 cents. So I made about $30 on that. So now we're topping. We're struggling here. We're definitely extended. Now I'm looking for another pullback. We're still on a front side move. The dips are definitely key. And I thought this was just the beginning of the move. I thought we were going to continue. In a perfect world today, definitely could have been. Here I got in at 85 there, selling at break even, 5-cent loss, so $25 loss there on that. We dipped down pretty good. I thought we'd see a pop back over 9. So as we dipped down there, I got in. Boom, I thought we were going to see a break back over 9 here. But as soon as that didn't happen and that red candle was forming, I sold, and now I'm looking for a lower dip. And let's see, wait for the dip here, and it might be too soon here. Might be too soon. That's why I didn't buy there. I didn't feel like it really gave that full pullback. Boom, there we go. I think this could be it. Oh, that was it, and I didn't buy. So that would have been a 20-cent trade there, so that would have been another $100 trade there if I acted on that. I thought that was the pullback. Okay, got in at 76, so much higher than I should have. Out at 78, so quick scalp there, 2 cents. Now I'm back in at 95. Oh, now I'm back out at 90. I butchered this whole candle here. I butchered that whole candle. Now I'm like, I can't chase into the high, so I bought that dip back down to 9. Now I'm looking for 950. Out at 914, so 14-cent trade. So it was about a $60 trade. So kind of made back my loss there, maybe a little more. But I butchered that whole candle. I didn't get in that dip. That would have been another $100 trade right there. And I'm trading decent shares here. 500, that can definitely make you some good money. 500 shares, you could definitely walk away with. You could probably walk away with $1 a share on something like this on ADTX. With $1 a share, so $500 day. So the potential was there, but you know, I can't be too attached to the outcome, because the only thing that matters is, you know, I'm focusing on sizing up, focusing on pushing my comfort zone, and that's what's important. You know, and you know, as long as I'm showing up every day and I'm actually, you know, putting myself towards the fire every day to grow, you know, that's all that matters. You know, because eventually the results will come. Eventually I will get better at trading this bigger size. There we go, 921, just very bad entry there near the highs, out at 909. So not good there. I want to curl through 950. That's what I'm looking for. I was thinking that I think this is going to 10. So I get back in there for the break of the high at 917 and out at 904. So that was about $100 in losses right there in those 2 trades. So now I think I'm actually back to break even. This is where I'm back to break even. I'm not even looking at my P&L. I'm not even looking at my P&L because this is going to get me all flustered. So we're coming down again. It's like, all right, we might need another dip here. I need another dip. And this is where I make it all back and more. This is where I make it all back. This would have been my $500 trade, actually. Or more if we broke out. Could have been a $1,000 trade. I could have been up $1,000 today. This could have been my first 1K day. The possibility is there. I want to be there for the possibility. That's it. I want to be trading at that level to where the possibility of a 1K day is there every day. So waiting patiently for the dip. ADTX, history of making big moves. Micro float in at 95, out at 87. Not a good trade there. I was just a little impatient there. Here's the dip, boom, at 69, in at 69. Oh, out at, I took half off. I took half off at 918. So that was like a 50-cent trade. So I'm up 250 on this trade here. I take half off of the table. Looking for it to break in 949. I think this looks juicy. So I add 1K shares at the high. 1K shares at 944. The bids are back down to 927. This thing, if this would have lasted through 950 up to 10, this would have been a 1K day. this would have been the 1K day, because I literally was up 500. If I add 1,000 and we go another, let's say then I would be in 1,250 shares. If we just went another 30 cents, like up to 980, that would have been 1K. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We didn't end up breaking out. It wasn't as strong as I thought. Pulled back a little bit more. I got out at a reasonable price at 934, so only a 10-cent loss. So that's not bad. It's very good risk management there. And then took the rest off my previous entry on a profit. So I still coming out ahead. Still coming out ahead on that trade, up $125. So not a bad trade. Not a bad trade. Yeah, I'm not going to beat myself up too much about that one. I was there. I was there for the winning there. I was there for the winning. Now we rejected the highs. Now we're anticipating a lower dip here. This was not bad. I did some scalping on small size here. We can review this. So here as it's making its lows, I'm kind of just like scalping off the bid, like 93, and I'm flipping it at 31 out at 38. So it's another quick $7 there. In at 27, out at 38. It's a quick $11 right there. So right there, that's a quick $20 in like a couple seconds. In at 300 shares, in at 38, out at 48. So it's quick $30 there. So it's $50 right there within just 30 seconds. Very nice scalping there. Very nice scalping. And I did size down after that like mess that I had here. But I was there. I was there, and that's what's important for me right now. Is just being there for that opportunity, being there, being in the market at the right moment on big share size, on relatively big share size for me. That is the important part. And if I would have traded this on 100 shares and all that, I would have been disappointed, because I wasn't even giving myself the possibility to have an outstanding day, and I would have beat myself up more. So there we go. This would have been a nice dip there. Right here, I did try to size in. This bottoming tail just did not form as well as I wanted it to. We were forming a bottoming tail, but it just wasn't that convincing. It like kept forming the bottoming tail and then coming right back down. And with how low float the stock is, I don't know. It wasn't really convincing here. I didn't feel a lot of buyers there. But it did work out. It would have been a decent trade there. I did a couple small scalps in this area. Nothing else major. Just kind of like small gains from here. I did size down. As you can see, I'm down to 100 shares. So I really faded my risk after that big $11,000 trade. I did fade my risk, just because I saw I was green on the day. I had a huge like whip in my P&L, and I was just like needed to just slow it down a little bit. I gave it my shot there. Like I shot there. I gave it my best shot there, and now we're getting into a point of consolidation. Now I'm looking to kind of hold on to my gains and maybe add a little bit more profit on top, but not risking the boat. I don't want to risk everything that I worked for that first 15-20 minutes on like consolidation moves. I'm looking just to add a little bit more profit, if possible, if I can catch any nice dips. So that's really what happened there. If we did curl back up, I would totally be open to, putting on another 1,000 shares for sure. But we're just looking very weak. So I started fading my share size as it was looking weak. Because the worst thing to do is make all your money on the front side, and then on the back side, you give it all back, or worse, you give it all back and go red and give back more. That's the worst, and that's happened to me before. took me a lot of lessons of that to learn not to do that, to, going great on the front side, making money, and then once it starts to fade, you're fighting the trend, and then eventually you're at zero on the day, or you're red on the day, and that's usually very, very bad. But that's it on ADTX. That was my quick review. Relatively short trading day, to be honest with you. I did trade CCCC a little bit, but ADTX was the winner. ADTX was the winner. So tomorrow, my goals tomorrow is to wait for the one, wait for the one stock that looks great, similar to what we got here on ADTX, and be ready to hold myself to the fire. Feel the pain, feel the anxiety, feel the fear, and do it anyways, and be there anyways for the possibility of the outstanding day. Because I have an edge, I have an edge in the market. I have a consistent edge. I'm consistently making money. Now, what's required if I want to continue climbing this mountain, this huge mountain of trading, and climb my way to the peaks, I gotta fight my demons. I gotta slay my demons. The fear, anxiety, nervousness of being in a trade, and as you size up more and more, those feelings are always going to come back. I'm sure once I break this barrier of making, now we'll be consistently making maybe 1,000 a day, then, getting to 10,000 a day or 5 or 10,000 a day, those feelings are going to come back. And every time you turn the corner, again and again, those feelings are going to come back. So, I have to get very familiar with it and learn how to overcome it. So, on the next level, when you hit up level 5, level 6, level 7, it's, a similar boss. It's a similar boss, maybe harder to deal with, but it's a similar boss, and you can figure it out because you've done it before. So that's sort of my ideas about sizing. But thanks for tuning in for the recap. I know it was a little bit of a long one, but if you're still watching at this point, you are the OG. Hit that like button. If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button if you're a new viewer. And I will catch you guys tomorrow on the pre-market pump. All right. Good night, everyone. Peace.